Good afternoon, T-Wolves! Mr. Quinton here with what we did for Thursday, January 7th, 2021. Today was a very brief, easy day in terms of all you had to do because all we did today was work on our project. But I want to make it clear what exactly is being asked of you for these steps. Okay, so Tuesday, step one was due, where you were supposed to just choose your meal. Today, step two is you're going to be listing your ingredients. So let's go head over there and see what we got going on. Let's see here. You're of course pretending that we're in first period, but you're going to go to your period as always. Go to quarter two, and then you can jump into week of January 5th. And if you need to go find the project again for some reason, that would be in the Tuesday folder. Okay, so you can find it there in the Tuesday folder. But you can also always just search your Google Drive. And so when you search that Google Drive, mine's going to look a little different than yours, but basically you just have to find the Columbian Exchange Project. Okay, so there you can see it there. And then when you bring it up, there you are, you're at step two. Okay, but remember, we're looking in Thursday, right? We're in Thursday. So make sure that you ultimately get to the Thursday folder. Now, when you're in doing here step two, so when you're doing step two, you want to make sure that you're looking here, that you're listing your ingredients, okay? You're going to be breaking down your meal into parts, all right? So remember, if we're using our pizza as an example, your pizza's got the crust, your pizza has the sauce, your pizza has the toppings. There's your three parts, all right? But now you've got to break your parts down into ingredients. And that's the thing, is that your crust, you need to look up the recipe. Folks, I'm seeing a lot of people who are trying to just copy and paste my work. You're trying to copy and paste my example. Folks, this is not a recipe. These are just some of the ingredients that go into crust. You need to do your own work. So you need to go to Google, and you're going to want to Google a pizza crust recipe, or maybe pizza dough recipe, so that when you get the results, you can find your quick and easy pizza dough recipe, pizza crust recipe, and here are your ingredients. Sometimes the ingredients are at the top of the page, sometimes the recipes will have them, and you'll need to scroll down until you see the ingredients, okay? And then you can copy and paste your ingredients. Now, I don't need the teaspoon part or the cup part, but if it just helps to get it onto the slide, you can just copy and paste from there, all right? So you get your work in there, and then you're gonna be able to copy and paste your stuff. Now, what's that gonna look like? Okay, well, let's take a look. So you can do it pretty much however you want, as long as it's easy to read and it's somewhat organized. So maybe you're gonna do crust. Okay, so crust, and that's going to be the yeast and the salt and the oil and the water, etc. Okay, maybe then you've got your sauce, which will be like tomato paste, which is made from tomatoes. And then you'll have your basil and your oil, etc. Okay. That's how you want to list your ingredients. Go right on ahead. That's totally fine. Maybe you want it to look a little bit different. Maybe you would prefer to have it more this way. So you've got your crust, you've got your sauce, you've got your toppings, and then you have your yeast. And over here, of course, you would have that tomato paste made from tomatoes. You'll have your salt, and then here, of course, you would have your basil, and so on and so forth. Maybe you want to be a little bit extra, and so you're going to really make that stand out, okay? That's all you have to do, as long as it's organized and easy to read, you can do it pretty much however you like, okay? Those are a couple of different ways that you can do it if that's the way you want to lay it out. Now, in terms of actually getting this onto your exit ticket, because that's the big thing, your exit ticket has to be turned in by 11:59 p.m. Because if your exit ticket shows late, or if you don't give me your ingredients on your exit ticket, then you're going to lose 5 points off the project, because this is how I know that you're working on pace and that you're going to be able to finish on time. Okay, so all you have to do is you can simply highlight that there. You can then Control C to copy, and then you can go to your exit ticket, go to that second slide of the exit ticket, and then paste. And there you go. You've pasted that whole slide right there. And so now you don't have to do any work twice. And you can just put everything in there. And now you can submit your exit ticket for today. Okay. And again, that exit ticket is right there so that you can go in. And you'll see that the instructions here even tell you that you need to fill out the first slide of the exit ticket as normal, and then copy and paste your step 2 slide. And some people might have extra slides. That's why it says slide or slides from your project on the second slide. If there is nothing after the first slide, or this is turned in late, you're going to lose 5 points from the project score. All right. So just get this in. That's all you need to do. One other thing that I've been noticing, folks, you have to get all your ingredients. All right. So if you're finding yourself where you have, and let me make sure we fix that right quick. If you're finding yourself where you have something like pizza, again, so let's say you're doing pizza and you are putting mozzarella cheese as a topping. Well, you need to tell me what's in cheese. Cheese doesn't just magically appear. Cheese has to be made. And a big part of understanding just how important the Columbian Exchange was to our way of life is to know just how much stuff was actually going on in terms of having things that we could trade and use and eat and drink and everything else. So you are going to have to look that up. But folks, what you need to do is look for the recipes. So you're looking for a mozzarella cheese recipe, okay? If you've got an Alfredo sauce, you're going to look for an Alfredo sauce recipe, okay? So that you can find that stuff out. You don't just put Alfredo sauce on there. You need to tell me what's in your Alfredo sauce. If your Alfredo sauce has Parmesan cheese, well, tell me what's in the cheese recipe. Generally, that stuff is going to have milk, it's going to have rennet, it's going to have cultures, it'll probably have salt. So this also helps make it easier to get to your 10 minimum ingredients, okay? You can have more than 10 ingredients, that's fine, but this will also help with that. If you get butter or sour cream, how do we make those things? What are the ingredients for that? Generally, butter is going to be cream and salt, or maybe cream and water. So you're going to want to make sure to break those things down. Folks, do not end up using, please don't end up using things like Tony Chachere's and stuff like that. Don't just put Italian seasoning if you see a recipe or something that just throws that in there. There are many different kinds of spices in an Italian seasoning. You've got like basil and thyme and oregano and rosemary. So you're going to want to find out what's in those. Okay, so then you would do a Google search for, Italian seasoning recipe so that you can get that stuff. Go to the web page as well. Folks, make sure you go to the web page. Do not just use whatever weird result you find by just copying, oh, look, that just is a little summation. Folks, that's usually just a little blurb from the actual article. So go to the article. All right. Those are most of the pitfalls that I've been seeing. Everything else, you should be good to go on that. So just make sure you get your exit ticket taken care of. That has your ingredients on there, okay? If you want to continue working ahead, you absolutely can. You can always ask me questions in class if you need to, and if you need to send me an email or a note beforehand, you can send me a note here in Schoology, or you can send me an email, okay? So this is what we did. Knock yourselves out. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Mr. Quinton, out.